Okay, I don't have an article or anything for this one because I'm just going to do this contemporaneously. I'm going to just do this off the top of my head because I've got a lot to say on this issue. Listen, I have been in a Twitter feud for the last couple days because it for me, started with a simple conversation about I don't think that the right takes, I have to choose my words here so I don't get demonetized, assaults that generally occur against women. I don't think the right takes it seriously. I haven't thought that the right takes it seriously for a very long time because of every conversation that I've had over the past year with people on the right on this topic. Here's what happens when I try to have this conversation with someone on the right. I say, something happened to me and this is how it affected me. And the very first thing, and I'm not making this up, this is true almost 100% of the time. I'm talking like 98% of the time. This is true almost universally of every time I've had this conversation with the right. They say, I say, something happened to me. And they say, Carlin, but can we interest you in a list of men who have been falsely accused? And then I go, well, but yeah, I don't think that's good either, but something happened to me. They're like, no, that's just as bad. It is just as bad to be falsely accused as what happened to you, which I'm sorry is BS and nonsense. It is horrible to be falsely accused. I have advocated for men who have been falsely accused, and I don't think it's good. I don't think either thing is good, but here's what I really don't understand. The right cares so much about these things happening to children, that P word that I'm not going to say because I don't want to get demonetized. The right cares so much about these things happening to children. They rail on it all the time, and they should, because that is wrong. But why don't they care at all about it happening to adults? Because my experience is that they don't care. So this is where I was coming from. I was already lit up on this issue. I had about had enough of it. Then AOC comes out and makes this video where she talked about something that happened to her. Now, I think that there are about 8,000 things that you can brag on AOC over. I think AOC is whiny. I think AOC is belligerent. I think AOC lies all the time. I don't really have much use for the woman. But there are 8,000 things that you can go at her about that have nothing to do with her being assaulted. Like, that to me is something that you shouldn't be mocking in any way, shape, or form, because you know what, dude? Like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I don't like the woman. I would not wish that on my worst enemy at all for any stretch of the imagination. So that's the conversation that I was having. And then it came out, and I'm not even sure why this shocked everyone, that AOC was lying about being in the Capitol on January 6th. And this is a big thing, and everyone's been complaining about it on Twitter for 2 goddamn days. Now, I'm not in favor of her lying, but here's my position on this. Why are you surprised? Honestly, I was not remotely surprised to hear that AOC was not in the Capitol building because I know where her office is. I know where her office is because the same building as my congressman. It is not in the Capitol building. I was not remotely surprised that she was not in the Capitol building. It didn't even occur to me that people would think that she was. Honestly, I mean, maybe because I'm not a journalist and I don't play this goddamn gotcha game on Twitter all day, but it really did not occur to me that this was a piece of information that would be shocking, because I already knew that was the case. Now, does that have anything to do with trauma that she's probably self-inflicted on herself? No, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But for me, this is like I look at this situation and I'm like, so what? She lied. She lies all the time. The woman literally lies all the time. Every time AOC opens her mouth, you can count that it is a lie. Why is this new earth-shattering information? I just don't understand. And here is my position on this. Because dude, I care as much about AOC lying as I do Trump having a bad attitude. It is completely predictable that she would lie. It's not, and you know what else is completely predictable and why I think it makes absolutely no sense to go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about AOC lying? They're going to cover for her. The media and the Democrats are going to cover for her. Literally nothing, not a GD thing, is going to happen from AOC lying about being in the Capitol building on January 6th. Nothing is going to happen. In fact, they're having a little event. I was tweeting about this earlier. They're having a little event in the House where House members are going to come and they're going to tell their harrowing stories of what January 6th was like. And you know who their featured speaker is? Goddamn AOC. So they're already covering for her. It does not matter that she wasn't there. The media is going to cover for her. Literally, this accomplishes nothing. This literally accomplishes nothing. To go on and on and on and on and on about this, it accomplishes nothing. So what's been happening with me, and this frankly has not just happened in the last couple of days. This has been building up for weeks with me and watching what's going on the right, and also venturing more into the populist left spaces. So I'm seeing what the populist left is talking about, because I have this theory that there's actually not that much difference between the populist left and populist right, maybe on some issues, but I think broadly they're very similar. So I'm watching this happening. And I'm been learning a lot about like what the actual populist left believes, and I'm not talking about the crazy SJWs and all this stuff, because there is a populist left that is not in favor of the woke stuff. They don't even know what this stuff is a lot of the times. And so I've been venturing into that. And so here's my reality right now. Here's what I've seen. I see a reality in which the right is consumed with hysteria over AOC lying, when this is not a surprise and nothing's going to happen. And that's all that I see people screaming about, at least on Twitter, which Twitter is not real life. Twitter is not a reflection of everyone, whatever. But that's where AOC lied and AOC Somalet and all these hashtags have been trending for 2 straight GD days. Do not tell me this is 1 or 2 people doing this when the hashtags have been trending on Twitter for 2 straight goddamn days. Please. So that's where the right is focused. You know what I see when I look at the populist left? They're ragging on AOC too. They don't like AOC. They haven't liked AOC in a long time. But do you know what they're ragging on AOC about? Tech censorship. An issue that we both align on. They really are, guys. They are ragging on AOC about tech censorship and how they don't like that she's advocating for more censorship, because guess what? This is what I told you when they started censoring things. The left understands this. This is something that they understand. The true liberals, and I do believe there are a few that exist on the left, do not want tech censorship any more than you and I. In fact, I'm going to have one of those people who is on, she's very, very left. I'm going to have her on this channel tomorrow, which is going to be Friday, February 5th. If you watch this video after that, you can come and watch the stream afterwards. But I'm going to have her on this channel tomorrow. We're going to have a conversation about this, and we're going to talk about the things we have in common. And one of the things that they're very afraid of is tech censorship. Guess what? You don't want to know why this lefty is concerned about tech censorship? Because her YouTube channel literally just got demonetized. This is not just happening to the right, it's also happening to the left, and there are people on the left that care about this. So let's look at what I'm seeing. I see 2 groups of people who both hate AOC. Fine. I don't like AOC either. I see one group screaming about how AOC is a liar. AOC is a liar. Oh my God, AOC is a liar. Oh my God, it's the most earth-shattering thing that AOC is a liar. I see the other group saying AOC is a fraud and is endorsing tech censorship, and we don't like that. What do you think I'm going to do? Which side do you think I'm going to choose? Because I don't care about AOC lying. I think this is the stupidest thing in the history of stupid, or maybe not quite the stupidest thing, because let's just be honest, we live in a stupid time. So the list of stupid things is deep. But this is right up there on the list of stupid. AOC has lied her entire GD public career. Why do I care now? Okay, it's a day that ends in Y. Congratulations. So I don't care about that. I don't care about the hand-wringing or the shouting or the complaining or the whining that's going on the right. What I do care about is tech censorship. That's an issue that I care about. So if I have to choose right now between populist left and populist right, I'm gonna choose the left, man. If the populist left are saying AOC's a fraud and she's in favor of tech censorship and we think that that's bad, dude, I have total alignment there. I have no issue with that, because right now, the right isn't even talking about censorship. Do you know how many more issues are more important than AOC lying that have been completely forgotten? How about school choice? Yeah, Corey DeAngelis is still tweeting about school choice. Are we talking about school choice at all? No, because we're talking about AOC lying. How about tech censorship? We're not talking about that at all, because we're talking about AOC lying. How about voter integrity? We haven't been talking about that for a while. Some people are working on it. I know that. There are still actually court cases that are going on. But is that being talked about? No. How about Black Lives Matter doing stuff in public schools? How about the fact that teacher training programs are completely overrun with woke nonsense and they're indoctrinating your kids? Are we talking about any of that? No. Are we talking about the fact that organizations are going to start being mandated to do this stupid critical race theory training with their employees, thus indoctrinating more people? No. All we're talking about is AOC lying. So you know what? If I right now, from my perspective as someone that is not tribal in any way, dude, I left the left for a reason. I left the left because they became authoritarians that made me feel like I had to walk in lockstep with every single thing that they were doing in order to be accepted. Guess what? Now that's starting to happen on the right. I have basically been like, I've been canceled by the right. That is not what's happened. But dude. The right needs to start grappling with the fact that you've got some authoritarians in your midst. And I'm not going to be the one to clean that crap up. I'm not going to do it. I have no interest in it, dude. I'm already fighting the woke crap on the left. I'm already preoccupied with that. The right has got authoritarians in their mix that are saying, Carlin, you are an obvious leftist. You are a grifter. I'm actually doing direct quotes here, guys. I'm not making this shit up. I know I'm acting hyperbolic, but I've been told Carlin's gonna burn all her MAGA dear. Carlin is a grifter. She was always grifting on us. Because I think it's ridiculous that AOC is lying, and you guys are somehow surprised by this. And now becoming little authoritarians. So you have to join the mob, criticizing AOC lying all day, every day. Dude, I don't care. I don't effing care. I care significantly more about the right's lack of consideration for women who have been assaulted than I do about AOC freaking lying. Because that actually impacts real lives. That's something that's real. When you don't give women any consideration like that, guess what happens? They don't report what happens. They don't talk about what happens. They keep it buried inside. They experience an excessive amount of trauma. That's not cool with me, man. Not cool. Not cool at all. Carlin, that's not all the right. That's some of the right. Dude, it's every single conversation I've had with the right about this subject for the last year. So, maybe I've just gotten unlucky, but at some point, you think I would find someone that would actually have a conversation about this instead of pretending it doesn't happen or pretending it's just some people. And you want me to care about AOC lying? I don't. I'm sorry. I don't care. And the last thing I want to say is this. Because a lot of you are saying, AOC's manipulative and she's just pretending she has trauma. I don't know that, dude. I can rag on AOC lying every single day if I want to, when I don't particularly obviously want to waste my time. But I can talk about that. I can talk about how bad AOC is on issues. I can talk about how she's encouraging tech censorship. I can talk about how she's ignoring her own constituents by not supporting a vote on Medicare for all, which is not something that I'm necessarily for, but she's literally ignoring her own constituents, the reason that a lot of people put her in office. I could talk about that all day, every day. But you know what I'm not going to make fun of is trauma. I'm not going to do it. Sorry, not joining your little outrage mom on this one. I am not doing it. You want to know why? Because AOC is actually crazy enough to convince herself that even though she was not in the Capitol on January 6th and she was nowhere near what happened, I was actually closer to it than AOC was. She is actually crazy enough to convince herself that she was in danger. And that's how trauma works. It is not a logical thing. And if you try to treat it as a logical thing, guess what? You're going to be really, really, really disappointed. Two people can experience exactly the same thing and have trauma in different ways, have their trauma activated in different ways. Some might have trauma, some might not have trauma, because it is not a logical thing. And we don't know what's happened to her in the past. And I refuse, no matter how much I hate someone, no matter how much I detest their policies, no matter how much I think they're a whiny little child, I refuse to attack someone on the basis of trauma. Refuse. No. Hard limit. You want to know why? Because I don't want to be like the left. I left the left for a reason. I don't want to be like them. I want to be better than that. And you should want to be better than that too. If AOC truly believed she was in danger, I'm not talking about if she actually was in danger. If she believed in her head that she was in danger, yes, that can cause actual trauma. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you this too. Jack Posobiec's been tweeting about AOC all day, and I'm a big fan of Jack. I respect Jack. Jack is a really, really, really good guy. He's one of the authentic ones. I'm dinging him a little bit, but it's like a friendly nudge being like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're better than this, because he is better than this. But this is what he's been tweeting about all goddamn day. And one of the things he tweeted was calling AOC a histrionic, which is true. I do actually believe that that's true. I 100% do. But that's a personality disorder. That's an actual personality disorder. That's a sad thing. It is a sad thing. And I believe that that's a sad thing in the same way that narcissistic personality... I'm a goddamn psychologist, man. I do not celebrate when people have mental health problems. I might make fun of the SJWs on the left, but I'm not celebrating their mental health problems. I'm not cheering about it. I'm not making it a big to-do. Like, it's a sad thing, guys. Having, it be, that's an actual personality disorder. And how personality disorders often develop is trauma in childhood that is undealt with, or other things happening early on in your life that you don't deal with. I think that being histrionic is sad. It's sad. It's not something to laugh about. It's not something to make fun of. It's not something to celebrate. It is a sad thing, just like narcissistic. I have always said, I do actually believe that Donald Trump is a narcissist. I 100% do. I don't use that as a pejorative. It is a sad thing. He meets the qualifications of that. That's not something you celebrate. That's not something you attack people for. You can attack people's behaviors. You can talk about how we shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that. But I'm not going to attack someone personally because they have a personality disorder. Do I hope that they get treatment? Yes, absolutely. I hope that they get better. I hope they go on to live a much happier life, because I'm a goddamn hypocrite if I don't want that for my worst enemy. Why would I want anyone to live a grossly miserable life? I just don't. I'm sorry. If you do, and that's the type of retribution you want, more power to you. I do not. I wouldn't wish assault on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish trauma on my worst enemy. That's just me, man. So, I don't care if AOC lied. I'm not going to make fun of her for whatever trauma she has, and I do believe there is trauma there because she wouldn't have a goddamn personality disorder if that wasn't there. Do I wish there was someone else in her seat? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. That's the choice of her for her voters in her district. But if you think you're going to win any points by arguing on these personality issues, rather than arguing on policy and issues that I actually care about, you're not going to win any points from me, man. You're just not. The right sees AOC like the left sees Donald Trump. And mark my words, I'm putting my stake in the ground right now. The next 2 years are going to be filled with AOC derangement syndrome because the right is so distracted and so triggered by what she does that it makes them lose all semblance of reality and what is important. So get sucked into that all you want. And you're no better than people on the left who had Trump derangement syndrome for the last 4 years. When is this going to stop? I talk about how the left is addicted to outrage all the time, and I absolutely mean that. But guess what? I think some of the people on the right are too. I want no part of this, man. I want no part of it. I am not part of any tribe. I will not get caught up in these little authoritarian tendencies where people try to make you bend the knee and say the things they want you to say and say, Carlin, we are going to unfollow you. You are a different person than what we thought you were if I don't say what you want me to say. Have we met? Have you been paying attention to anything I've done for the last year? I have never kissed the right's ass. I don't intend to start now. So follow along if you want. If you're more interested in whining and complaining about AOC being a liar as though that is a revelation, then I might not be a good fit for you, man. This relationship might not work out. It's not you, it's me. It's me. I actually want to talk about things that are actually important and focus on things that are actually goddamn important. So that's all I got. I'm always going to give you my honest opinion. I'm never going to blow smoke up your ass. You might agree with me sometimes, you might not. That's the way it rolls. If you want to hear more from me, I do post daily content, or almost every single day. Sometimes I take days off, but I do post content quite a bit. Hit subscribe. You can follow along, turn on those notifications, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. That's all I've got for right now. I'll see you soon.